Hey guys, welcome back to Classic G-Body Garage. Still working on the 2001 Pontiac Grand Am. Just buttoning up the intake manifold job. It's got the 3400 V6. If you wanted to check out the other videos on this series, I will go ahead and link the playlist in the top corner of this video. So go ahead and click on those and check those out. Not really a how-to, just kind of a what I've learned throughout the process, giving you guys any type of tips, tricks, things that I learned throughout this process. And just go ahead and make sure you check out those videos. If you have any questions, leave a comment, shoot me a message, and let me know. So let's get back in the garage and see what I got going on. Alright, so as you can see, I have the lower intake manifold secured back down and properly torqued. I got the fuel rail back on. Also got the thermostat housing back together as well. And now these three areas, what I wanted to let you guys know about this, the lower intake manifold gaskets, you are going to want to use a premium gasket set. Now there are several different kits that you can purchase for this job, and the majority of those kits, as far as I'm aware of, use plastic intake manifolds, manifold gaskets. The factory uses a plastic intake manifold gasket, and that fails. The expansion and contraction, over time the plastic gets brittle and cracks. What I was told to use by some very experienced technicians is the Felpro Premium Kit. That gasket is made out of metal. I will go ahead and put the part number popped up right now within the video so you guys can check that out. And also used RTV Ultra Gray that sealed off the ends of the manifolds themselves, and went ahead and properly torqued that down with the torque wrench. And now once you get that lower intake manifold torqued back down, you want to put the fuel rail back on. Now in a previous video I mentioned the fuel rail. When I went ahead and pulled this thing off and pried it up with the pry bar very gently along here and along here, sometimes the fuel rail will pull up and the injectors will come with it. Well, in my case, the injectors were basically seized down inside the intake manifold themselves, and these little retainer clips that hold the injectors to the fuel rail, the little ears broke off, so the injectors were stuck down in the intake manifold itself. I had a big mess getting these wires unplugged because everything was coming apart. Some of the injectors came out, some of them didn't. Some of the clips broke, some of them didn't. So it was a real nightmare. So what I went ahead and did was I purchased all new upper and lower fuel injector O-rings, because when you pull those O-rings out of a car that's 15 years old or more than that, depending upon the year of your car, the injector seals could get brittle. They can crack over time because they're just made out of rubber, some sort of neoprene. And also the O-rings can get scoring marks in them when you pull them through the intake manifold if there's any kind of corrosion in each one of the injector holes. And mine had some corrosion in there. So you're pulling a rubber O-ring through that hole and it's going to get all scratched up and might not make a good seal. So it's a good idea to get new injector seals, upper and lowers, and also replaced the little clips. Now this is what an injector clip looks like. Basically looks like a hollowed out spider. So that is a brand new clip that I purchased through O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm sure most any auto parts store can get it for you, but there's the part number right there. You can see that 274803 retainers. And then there's the company that sells them. Also purchased the upper and lower fuel injector O-ring kits. These are the O-rings. This is the upper O-ring, fatter. Lower O-ring is skinnier. And I did mention in the other video there are some plastic sleeves that slide over the lower portion of the injector that also tend to pop off when you pull those injectors out. So be careful. If those pop off out of there, they sometimes fall down the side of the head or sitting on top of the intake valve. So make sure you fish those out of there, because I had that problem as well. So there are the part numbers for the injector O-rings that Felpro makes. You're going to also want to get yourself an Egr gasket. Depending upon the year of your vehicle, it's either going to look like this, or they did make other Egr valves. So each one of those gaskets might look different. I bought a Egr kit. There you go, just throw them all over the ground here. Here are a couple different styles. Mine takes this one right here. So had to buy those separately. And also, good idea to replace the temperature or the thermostat there. Thermostat comes with a new gasket, and that goes behind the upper intake or the upper radiator hose right there, and the it's right here, located behind this water neck as well. Also, a good idea. There's an O-ring on the pipe that goes to the heater core. I believe the kit, the Felpro intake gasket kit, comes with that O-ring that goes on that pipe right there. And then I mentioned in my other video as well, the distributor. This car doesn't have a distributor, but the oil drive has an O-ring that goes on there, and the kit comes with that as well. Go ahead and pull the bolt out, grab some pliers and pop that out of there, replace the O-ring. And in addition to the O-ring, I put a distributor gasket on there as well and seal that up with RTV, so that should be good and sealed. Right now I will put part numbers to the distributor seal. It's another Felpro gasket, and the intake gasket kit also comes with new valve cover gaskets. So that is all nice, fresh, and new. So getting this thing back together, just some more tips and tricks that I learned. So next video I will get the upper intake manifold put on this thing. Here are the gaskets right here, part of the Felpro kit. Get those gaskets on, get the upper intake manifold on, and we'll go ahead and fire it up and make sure it runs. Alright guys, there you have it. 2001 Pontiac Grand Am GT intake manifold gasket. Tips and tricks. There you go. Leave those comments, and until the next classic G-Body Garage video, keep those G-Bodies rolling.